Fun fact, English engineer Peter Zinovieff developed the first digital sampler. Play the music. Welcome to Open M.I.C. I'm your host, Jamal Raheem. Now, you can find this good podcast wherever you find podcasts. You can also watch us on YouTube. Now, today's episode, we are going to discuss, is sampling getting lazy? And my hate for sample blockers. Let's get it, shawty.
Hold on, let's get this shit. Let's get this shit.
Now, before we get into whether I believe sampling is getting lazy or not, I wanted to define two things, sampling and interpolation, because those are two things people seem to get mixed up all the time. So I'm going to give you all the definition from Google, and then I'm going to explain my definition of it. Now, sampling is when a musician includes an element from another recording in their own composition. Now, these recordings doesn't have to be just music. You can sample from a movie, TV show, baby crying. People have sampled like the sound of like railroads. It's any of that stuff, that is a sample. You know what I'm saying? And then you include it in your music, that's what makes it a sample. You know what I'm saying? You take a sample of somebody's stuff. That's it. It's like getting a free sample from like Costco or something. You take a sample of it and then you buy it. You know what I'm saying? Now, interpolation, which is different than sampling, is when an artist incorporates a part of an existing song into a new composition. Meaning, like, you take, like, the melody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take the melody that somebody is saying, but you're not sampling it. This is something that people commonly get mixed up. I see it happen a lot on TikTok. There's a guy, his name is Luxury with 2 X's. He has a podcast called One Song with Diallo Riddle. You have to check that out. And he talks about interpolation all the time on TikTok. Go give him a follow. But with all that being said, now we're going to talk whether sampling is getting lazy. This seems to be a popular subject in the news, in my music spaces, and my conversations I've had with people. If you don't take my word for it, though, here are some people talking about sampling being lazy.
Why y'all keep sampling music from the 90s like it's no other era? Or you can make music from this era, 2023, and make your own beats. I'm just saying.
I feel like it needs to be some sort of statute of limitations for how soon you can sample a song. Because, like, what's going on in the music industry that people can't create new beats anymore? Like, y'all sampling stuff from 10 years ago. Like, we're the same audience. We're the same audience. We don't want to hear it again.
Is these producers need to take their ass back to the record store and they need to start digging. Dig for anything. You know how many times James Brown, Nina Simone has been sampled? Y'all be sampling the same songs over and over again. You guys are not sampling. You guys are doing covers. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that because you do have to pass songs down to the next generation. I just feel like sampling has to get a little bit more creative now. I don't know about y'all. I might be wrong, but what do you think?
Like the obvious answer for me is like they're definitely being lazy.
Yeah, it's like a flip now. It's a flip.
They're really just doing remixes of stuff, which is fine, but just call it that. You're literally
Now, all of those people, some of them are mutuals. They all seem to believe that sampling is getting lazy, but I personally disagree with them. I think sampling, to be honest, has always been lazy. And there has always been the balance of sampling being very dope and creative. In the 90s, you had Diddy and Bad Boy. They were sampling popular songs all over. You got Juicy, that saw Biggie sampling, what's that song, that Juicy Fruit, or whatever the name of the song is, that Biggie samples and Juicy. You have Mace taking a sample and Feel So Good. He literally says, we take hits from the 80s, yeah. Like, he literally is acknowledging, like, they take songs and they make it a hit. They had no shame about it. And I didn't see, well, granted, I was born in 92. I don't see those same people complaining about those artists doing it. But just like generations before, people were complaining. I'm not going to act like people weren't complaining, because they were. The people who grew up in the 80s were complaining about people sampling in the 90s. People in the 90s were complaining about people sampling in the 2000s. And that continues to go on as the cycle will always repeat itself over and over and over again. It's going to happen. That is something that's always going to happen. And to be honest, mainstream music has always sampled from songs and always been lazy. But there has also been artists in the mainstream who have done it creatively and so dope that made my face go, That has always been there. Dilla has been great at it. Ninth Wonder, one of the producers, my favorite producer, and the producer I think is the best of all time, is great with it. Kanye, No ID, they're all good at sampling and making it so creative and stuff like that. And so there's always been a great balance. Like, I see a lot of people get on Coi Leray, and I saw it a lot, and it honestly annoyed me so much because her song Players, which is a song that's still in my rotation, like it's on my work playlist, you know what I'm saying, my clean work playlist. I have the clean version of it, obviously. And it samples The Message, and people be pissed off. They be pissed off at her, and they be talking about this newer generation and all that type of stuff. And I personally just think that it's like hypocritical because their music that they grew up on was doing the same thing. What a lot of people are suffering from is nostalgia. That's what it is. They're suffering from nostalgia because these songs are like 20 years old that these kids are sampling. Like Sweetie did it with My Type. She sampled Petey Pablo. And people were getting on her too, but that song was like 20 years old, guys. That song was old when she did it. It was like, it's nostalgia. Nostalgia is good and bad, you know what I'm saying? It's like the terrible drug, but it's good sometimes to get you lit. Because people get so caught up in like, oh, why are they taking a song that I grew up on and like taking it now? That song is old now. And even if it wasn't, if they took a song that came out a year ago, but it's the song good, that's all I really care about personally. Is the song good? Because if they take a song and it sounds good, then why are we complaining? We just seem like we're just nitpicking. We're just trying to find something to hate on. We don't need to do all that. Is the song good? And if I'm being honest, y'all are picky choosy on who y'all get mad at. And it seems to be y'all getting mad at the women more so than when men do it. And that's what it seems like. Because I don't really see the same hate going towards men when they do it. I'll give you an example. Drake sampled Charlotte Day Wilson's Mountain. That song came out the same year of the song that he took the sample from. And nobody had anything to say. Nobody complained. I found that to be weird, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a problem with it. Because the song that he sampled from is dope. His song was dope. I don't care. If you do a good job with it and the song is fire, why are we complaining? At this point, we're nitpicking, and at this point, we're picky choosy. You know what I'm saying? But we also have nostalgia, and y'all have to understand this. Nostalgia is whooping y'all ass. We see nostalgia. We see stuff get redone all the time. All the time. Nostalgia is what the movie industry, the TV industry is banking on, with them rebooting all of these shows. Like, even I find myself guilty of complaining, like, why are they rebooting the show? Why are they rebooting this? Why are we rebooting this movie? But guess what? I'm watching it. I'm watching a movie. I'm watching the show they rebooted. So they understand what it's doing. It's bringing dollars. And was the shows good? For the majority of them, yeah, they were. Majority of the movies that they redo, I enjoy. And that's all that matters to me. And if they take a song and it's dope, why are we complaining? Why? We need to stop being haters and just grow up. I don't mean no disrespect by that either. But when I mean by grow up, I mean we gotta like understand that this is something that always happens. Stuff recycles. That's what happens. The cycle always continues. It always happens. You know what I'm saying? people are going to sample from songs that were popular, and that's always going to be a thing. But people are also always going to be creative with it, and that's my thing. Now, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to talk about my hate for sample blockers. Now, I have a hatred for sample blockers. I have a hatred for sample blockers. The reason that I even got motivated to do this show, the reason why I wanted to record, is because I had to listen to certain songs that I love. I was listening to Control by Big Sean, and I had to go to YouTube to listen to it because I wanted to be reminded of that fire verse that Kendrick gave us, and I had to go to YouTube for it. And that pissed me off. It pissed me off. And this is why I hate sample blockers, because I think sample blockers are blocking art. Y'all blocking fantastic music. Y'all are blocking history, you know what I'm saying, moments. And I don't enjoy that, you know what I'm saying? And I see it happen to hip hop more than anything. And I'm getting to the point where I think artists shouldn't even be able to stop you from using their music. That's the point I got to, because I hate sample blockers that much. And I know, like, there's obviously people should have creative control over their music. I 100% agree and want that. But my hatred for these sample blockers are pushing me to the other side of this argument. And I never thought I would be on that argument side. But y'all are getting me to the point where I'm like, you know what? Y'all shouldn't be able to say who can use your stuff and who can't. Because I am getting tired of people blocking art. This is art. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is an art form. We are blocking blessings. We are blocking it. Because I see it happen, and there's certain artists, and I've seen plenty of videos on YouTube of people talking about how, I'm not going to name the artist, that they don't approve of people sampling music. They never give it. And these artists be asking for some ridiculous claims. Let me get like 90% of the publishing. Why in the world would an artist do that? Y'all just, number one, being greedy, but y'all also know that they not going to prove that. That's why y'all doing it. Sample blockers are the most annoying thing. Like, you are stopping history. You are stopping moments. You are stopping art. And you're also blocking your blessings. There are so many songs that I found because of the sample. I'm one of them people that listens to the sample and find out where the sample came from. And that's how I found a lot of older artists. That's how I found a lot of rock and roll artists. That's how people discover your music. That's how generations discover your music. Like, I'm going to give a perfect example of this. Dionne Warwick's song, Walk On By. I've had that song on my work playlist at work the whole school year. The whole school year. Doja Cat's Paint the Town Red comes out, and then all of a sudden my students are appreciating the Dionne Warwick Walk On By song. They appreciate it. And I even had one of them say, like, oh, why is she using Doja Cat's song? And me and the student had a wonderful conversation. And moments like that don't happen when you block samples. We don't get these moments. And that pisses me off. It makes me upset. Because you are blocking money, probably more money than you're going to get from that one single. You're blocking that, number one. Number two, you're messing up art. And we don't like that. I thought it was about pushing the art form forward. But y'all are not. Y'all are stopping the art form. That's what you are doing. Hip hop, R&B, rock, whatever genre it is. If somebody is inspired by your music and wants to use it, you should take that as a sign of respect. But a lot of y'all don't do that. And it pisses me off. You know what? We're not going to end with negativity, though. We're going to be positive. So I'm going to give y'all the song of the week because I don't like ending with negativity. You know what I'm saying? I still got to go to work. You feel me? So the song of the day, Full Crate, Text Me When You Get Home.
I see what you've been going through. I need to know if you made it back safe. So text me when you get home. Can you text me when you get
song that was playing was Full Crate. Text me when you get home. Go ahead and go stream that song. You can find it everywhere. It's on all the music platforms. Now, this has been Open M.I.C. I don't know why I said it like that. This has been Open M.I.C. I've been your host, Jamal Radio Raheem. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can find this podcast everywhere you get podcasts, and you can also watch it on YouTube, man. Thank y'all for watching, man. I also have the playlist of every song included in today's episode. So if you don't know the song I'm talking about, or you just want to listen to some good old music, you can also find that on Spotify. The playlist is called Open M.I.C. It will be linked in the description on both. It'll be linked in the description. I'm doing a lot of talking. Y'all have a great day. I'll catch y'all next Wednesday. Peace out.